Yahoo News. Yahoo News. Sign in. Search query. Politics. Politics Reuters. Trump linked World Liberty Financial to launch debit card as early as this year. 3 minutes read. IC Markets. Ad. Gold is surging in 2025. Smart traders are already in. Didn't miss the gold momentum. Trade CFDs with leverage and zero commission on our platform. Trading derivatives involves high risk to your capital. Politics Politico. The think tank driving health policy on Capitol Hill and dividing Republicans. 11 minutes read. Politics The Guardian. What does a government shutdown mean and why is this year's threat more serious? 6 minutes read. Business Reuters. U.S. government takes 5% stake in Lithium Americas and joint venture with GM. 2 minutes read. Advertisement. Politics Associated Press. EPA's job is to protect America's air, water and land. Here's how a shutdown affects that effort. 5 minutes read. U.S. CBS News. How will the government shutdown impact the U.S. military? 3 minutes read. U.S. CBS News. What is a government shutdown? Here's what happens when funding runs out. 8 minutes read. IC Markets. Ad. This could be the best time to trade gold in 5 years. Access the gold market with leverage up 1,000 and tight spreads. Fast sign up. No hidden fees. Trading derivatives involves high risk to your capital. Politics Associated Press. Cuban foreign minister says Rubio's personal agenda in Latin America risks Trump's peace prospects. 4 minutes read. Politics Associated Press. New Mexico Democrats rush to shore up safety net programs after federal cuts. 4 minutes read. Politics NBC News. U.S. government shuts down as Trump and Congress fail to reach a funding deal. 6 minutes read. Cleaverst. Ad. 40 dated decor trends that scream senior. Politics CBS News. Trump administration to defund Federal Watchdog Council. 3 minutes read. U.S. Associated Press. Planned Parenthood closes Louisiana clinics after 40 years due to financial and political pressure. 3 minutes read. Politics Reuters. White House withdraws Antony's nomination to lead BLS. 2 minutes read. Novlog. Ad. Confirmed, this is the deadliest snake in the world. Politics The Guardian. U.S. on brink of government shutdown after Senate rejects funding plans. 5 minutes read. Politics Reuters. U.S. judge disqualifies Nevada prosecutor from 4 cases in blow to Trump. 2 minutes read. Politics The Guardian. Trump news at a glance. Shutdown a chance to get rid of a lot of things we didn't want, says President. 4 minutes read. Installing solar panels in Pakistan. Ad. Pakistan. A guide to installing solar panels. U.S. Reuters. New York governor criticizes ICE officers who she says shoved and injured journalists. 3 minutes read. U.S. Associated Press. Pete Hegseth had a lot to say when he summoned military leaders. Here are some facts and context. 7 minutes read. Politics Associated Press. Trump administration blames Democrats for shutdown in official government warnings as deadline nears. 3 minutes read. The Datist. Ad. Learn more. How watching videos can boost your income. Learn more. How watching videos can boost your income. Business Associated Press. Civil rights agency drops a key tool used to investigate workplace discrimination. 5 minutes read. Politics Reuters. U.S. consumer watchdog, largely shuttered, to continue work during shutdown, email says. 1 minute read. Politics Politico. Why K Street is now living in fear of Trump's retribution campaign. 7 minutes read. AI girlfriend, search ads. Ad. Looking for an AI girlfriend? Learn more about a complete guide to AI girlfriend chat. U.S. Associated Press. Trump administration says Minnesota violates Title IX by allowing trans athletes in girls' sports. 2 minutes read. U.S. Associated Press. Federal agents grab and shove journalists outside NYC immigration court. Sending one to hospital. 3 minutes read. U.S. Reuters. Factbox U.S. government shutdown. What would stay open, what would close? 5 minutes read. Novlog. Ad. Never put eggs in the refrigerator. Here's why. U.S. Associated Press. University of South Florida names sole finalist for president amid closed-door selection process. 2 minutes read. U.S. Associated Press. New Orleans police official says crime is down after governor requests National Guard troops. 5 minutes read. Politics NBC News. Steve Kornotsky. How Trump and Jack Ciattarelli made gains in New Jersey taking 2 different paths. 4 minutes read. Tips and tricks. Ad. If you eat ginger every day for 1 month, this is what happens. U.S. Associated Press. FCC moves to end discounts for Wi-Fi hotspot lending and school bus connectivity. 2 minutes read. Politics Business Insider. Yes, Congress still gets paid during a government shutdown. 2 minutes read. U.S. Associated Press. South Carolina prosecutor seeks death penalty in murder case after Biden reduced sentence to life. 4 minutes read. Story Streamline. Ad. Choosing the right independent living for seniors. Learn more about how to select a fulfilling independent living solution for seniors. Politics Reuters. Factbox Major cases involving Trump before the U.S. Supreme Court. 17 minutes read. U.S. Associated Press. Judge rejects claims of racial gerrymandering in North Carolina state Senate districts. 3 minutes read. Politics NBC News. New Republican-drawn congressional map in Missouri faces possible referendum obstacle. 6 minutes read. Play 303.go janpike.zi1. Ad. Solve this and unlock an unexpected surprise. A new challenge is waiting for you. Only a few can complete it. Do you have what it takes? Tap now and see what's hidden inside. Something exciting might be waiting just for you. U.S. Associated Press. Nebraska joins Trump program to use public money for private school tuition. 3 minutes read. Business Reuters. Wall Street regulator cuts costs on market surveillance tool. 2 minutes read. Politics Business Insider. Trump announces Trump RX, drug buying website alongside Pfizer CEO. 2 minutes read. Wall tiles, search ads. Ad. Rubber wall tiles without elaborate installation, read guide. Politics Reuters. U.S. removes senior officials over Biden-era airline passenger watch list. 2 minutes read. Politics NBC News. Rep. David Schweikert launches a run for governor of Arizona. 4 minutes read. Politics Associated Press. Rep. David Schweikert joins Trump-backed candidates in GOP primary for Arizona governor. 3 minutes read. Car novels. Ad. The top 25 most beautiful women in the world. Politics Associated Press. Republican State Sen. Greg Dolezal enters Georgia's lieutenant governor race. 2 minutes read. Politics NBC News. Trump announces deal with Pfizer to lower drug prices, including Trump RX website. 5 minutes read. U.S. Associated Press. Florida officials gift prime Miami real estate for Trump's presidential library. 2 minutes read. Selling Satos. Ad. Discover free browser games. Start playing. Play free games instantly. No downloads required. Find your favorite games now. U.S. Associated Press. Groups press for release of special counsel Jack Smith's report on Trump's classified documents case. 3 minutes read. Politics NBC News. Senate leaves for the night, all but guaranteeing a government shutdown. 6 minutes read. World Associated Press. Europe's top central banker says economy holding up better than expected in face of Trump tariffs. 3 minutes read. Novlog. Ad. Blind husband regains his sight, but doesn't tell his wife and he realizes he's been lied to for years. Politics Reuters. Fed's Jefferson says he has not considered whether to remain as governor after vice chair term ends. 2 minutes read. World Associated Press. Worship leader Sean Feucht. Mismanaged millions in ministry funds, former associates say. 8 minutes read. Politics The Guardian. Trump gutting protected status for immigrants will strain U.S. healthcare, Democrats warn. 4 minutes read. Daily Sport X. Ad. DNA discovery reveals truth about Native Americans. Politics NBC News. A major Democratic demand in the shutdown fight could help the GOP in the midterms. 6 minutes read. U.S. Associated Press. Louisiana's governor asks for National Guard deployment to New Orleans and other cities. 2 minutes read. Politics Reuters. Trump can slash Education Department's civil rights staff, court rules. 2 minutes read. Installing solar panels in Pakistan. Ad. Cost of installing solar panels in Pakistan, read guide. Politics Reuters. Trump administration seeks to make Harvard ineligible for federal funding. 2 minutes read. U.S. Reuters. Trump administration wants U.S. troops sent to Illinois, governor says. 4 minutes read. U.S. Reuters. U.S. Justice Department sues Minnesota over sanctuary policies. 2 minutes read. Wall tiles, search ads. Ad. Installation tips for wall tiles in Pakistan. Business NBC News. YouTube to pay $24 million to settle Trump lawsuit. 2 minutes read. Politics NBC News. The clock ticks toward a shutdown, from the politics desk. 6 minutes read. U.S. Associated Press. Ex-Republican South Carolina House member admits to distributing hundreds of child sex abuse videos. 3 minutes read. Novlog. Ad. My fiancé asked me to liquidate my investments for his parents' debts. I agreed, but told him what it would cost first. Politics Business Insider. YouTube to pay $22 million to Trump to settle post-January 6 ban case. 3 minutes read. U.S. Associated Press. Marines say they hit recruiting goals and point to unapologetic standards. 6 minutes read. World NBC News. Read Trump's plan for peace in Gaza. 6 minutes read. Play 301.insupport.zi1. Ad. Mystery reward inside. Just one step away. This is not just a game, it's your chance to experience something unexpected. Only a few can crack this challenge. Are you one of them? Tap to find out what's waiting for you. Politics Reuters. Trump administration begins detailing shutdown plans as deadline nears. 3 minutes read. US NBC News. Mikey Sherrill releases new ad as controversy over the release of her military records escalates. 3 minutes read. Politics Associated Press. What Eric Adams' exit means for the NYC mayor's race. 4 minutes read. Sign in to get more. Sign in or join Yahoo to personalize your news feed and get updates across devices. Sign in, sign up. Something went wrong. Try again. Refresh page. Close this content. You can also use the escape key at any time. Worship leader Sean Feucht mismanaged millions in ministry funds, former associates say. Deepa Bharat. Tuesday, September 30, 2025 at 5:25 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time plus 58 minutes read. 134. 1/4. Sean Feucht financial allegations. File Christian musician Sean Feucht of California preaches to the crowd during a rally at the National Mall in Washington, Sunday, October 25, 2020. AP photo, Jose Luis Magana, file. Associated Press. More. Los Angeles, AP, the star of Sean Feucht, once a little-known conservative Christian worship leader and musician, began to climb in 2020 as he challenged government restrictions brought on by the coronavirus, tightening grip on the world. At well-attended protest concerts that brazenly flouted social distancing rules, he became a poster child against public health regulations curtailing in-person religious practice. It put Feucht in league with high-profile conservative pundits and elected officials from President Donald Trump to conservative influencer Charlie Kirk and Pete Hegseth, now the Secretary of Defense. Alongside his Christian rock star status, revenue to Feucht's ministry also skyrocketed. Jumping from $243,000 in 2019 to $5 million in 2020, the last year his ministry filed a Form 990 with the IRS. It's that deluge of money, Feucht's and his ministry's amassing of expensive real estate in its wake and their lack of financial transparency, which has former ministry staff and volunteers now accusing the worship leader of mismanaging ministry funds. Advertisement. 3 former associates with Feucht's worship organizations, such as Burn 24/7, Let Us Worship and Light a Candle, shared details with the Associated Press about Feucht's alleged financial mismanagement, verbal abuse and overworking volunteers and staff without fair wages. Christy Gafford, the former national director and communications lead for Sean Feucht Ministries, said she was fired in May 2024 after demanding accountability and questioning why volunteers had to pay for Feucht to come to their communities. I would get very vague answers, said Gafford, who served for 8 years in various roles, including leading a Texas chapter of Burn 24/7. She believes those answers because the charismatic Christian world emphasizes the work of the Holy Spirit in the form of spiritual gifts, and that faith leaders embody that spirit. You're supposed to put your trust in your leaders. After being fired, Gafford began questioning why more money wasn't used for local ministry initiatives when millions of dollars were spent by Feucht and his organization on real estate. Advertisement. Feucht, who did not respond to the app's repeated requests for comment, dismissed these allegations as false in a social media video posted in June. He called them embittered, upset, angered former volunteers, who had no knowledge of the ministry's financial situation and had to be dismissed because of moral issues. We're in great standing with the IRS, with our accountants, he said. Every single penny you have donated has gone to fulfill kingdom-ordained purpose and I stand by that. Real estate acquisitions questioned. Feucht said his ministry has spent money on visits to all 50 state capitals and about 30 other U.S. cities, purchased a tour bus and sound systems for concerts, and acquired real estate around the country. Advertisement. We've got real estate in DC, which is awesome, he said, referring to his ministry's headquarters known as Camp Elah on Capitol Hill in Washington. It's such a blessing. We're taking ground for Jesus and we're not apologizing for that. Property records posted online by the concerned former associates show Sean Feucht Ministries has purchased nearly $7 million in property since 2020. The properties include 2 parsonages in Washington, D.C., and San Juan Capistrano, California, a 40-acre hunting property with a cabin in Creston Big Fork, Montana, and 458 acres in Real County, a scenic region known as the Swiss Alps of Texas. The property records also show Feucht and his wife personally own $4.5 million in real estate. That includes 7 rental properties in Pennsylvania and a house in Redding, California, that were purchased between 2009 and 2023, a condo in the oceanside community of Dana Point, California, that they bought in April, and a Big Fork, Montana, property about 15 minutes from the ministry's hunting ground. In January, the couple also sold a house in an upscale Orange County, California, community for $1.7 million. Advertisement. Peter Hartzell, who with his wife Amanda helped lead Burn 24/7 in Montana from 2008 to 2010, said he questions the need for a religious organization and a worship leader to amass high-value property around the country. How many of these properties are really being used for ministry? He asked, pointing to how a property in Orange County listed as a parsonage for Sean Feucht Ministries is about 8 miles 13 kilometers from another residence personally owned by Feucht. Christian watchdogs raise concerns. Feucht's real estate acquisitions have also been questioned by independent Christian watchdog organizations such as Ministry Watch and the Trinity Foundation. Advertisement. Last year, Ministry Watch, a nonprofit that grades the nation's 1,000 largest Christian ministries, based on transparency, accountability and credibility, gave Sean Feucht Ministries an F, asking donors to withhold giving to the organization. Feucht's accumulation of expensive real estate was a factor, as was his organization's decision not to file Form 990s after 2020 when its earnings rose significantly, said Warren Cole Smith, president of Ministry Watch. He said the biggest red flag was the organization's failure to file a Form 990, which describes how a nonprofit allocates its money but isn't legally required of some religious organizations. The ministry's most recent 2020 filing shows it took in $5 million, but spent only $1 million on ministry work, leaving a surplus of about $4 million, Smith said. It is unclear if the real estate amassed by Feucht's organization is being used for ministry, Smith said, adding that Ministry Watch's repeated requests for additional responses from Feucht and his organization have gone unanswered. Religious organizations are not legally required to file Form 990s, and it is legal for pastors to take housing allowances to purchase a home or pay rent, Smith said. But the ownership of multiple homes does take concerns up a notch and would cause us to want to know more, he said. Right now, we just don't know. Advertisement. Smith says a vast majority of ministries that take in $5 million or more annually behave responsibly by joining the Evangelical Council for Financial Accountability, getting audited financial statements and filing Form 990s. All of this costs time and money, he said. But when you make millions in profit each year, you've got plenty of money to comply with these transparency and disclosure requirements. Bookkeeper saw financial dodginess. One of the former associates, Richie Booth of Redding, California, became a bookkeeper for Burn 24/7 and light a candle after he came to Feucht in 2019 as an administrative intern during the worship leader's unsuccessful bid for Congress. He said he saw irregularities such as the blurring of personal and ministry expenses. However, Booth said, he initially accepted Feucht's financial dodginess as part of the chaotic personality he projected. Advertisement. It's all just urgency and crisis created by him on the one hand to fuel his employees to burn themselves out, and on the other, to solicit donations because everything is urgent and happening right now, he said. Booth said he did not have access to Feucht's business credit card statements to categorize expenses properly. The lines between personal and ministry expenses were blurred, he said. In addition, Booth said he was concerned that employees were not getting paid due wages, including overtime, and wondered if such practices were being normalized by Feucht. Hartzell said he and his wife parted ways with the ministry after they raised objections to being verbally abused by Feucht and felt pressured to travel to global events at their own expense. We're often asked why it took us so long to speak up, he said. You just try to find excuses. It took us a while to understand that this was not normal. Advertisement. Still a unique figure among worship leaders. Booth, Hartzell and Gafford said they initially felt inspired by Feucht's message. I found language, context and theology for a lot of things that I felt had been in my heart for a long time, Booth said. Feucht still performs in churches across Southern California, where he resides, and around the country. He has hundreds of thousands of social media followers and the support of pastors and congregations nationwide. This summer, his Canadian tour sparked a religious freedom debate after multiple cities revoked his public venue permits for safety concerns and backlash over his anti-LGBTQ and anti-abortion views. After Charlie Kirk's assassination, Feucht performed at a vigil at the Kennedy Center in Washington. Advertisement. Adam Perez, a worship studies professor at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee, said Feucht has built a strong political platform by doing stump speeches in the form of worship concerts around the country, and tapping into social issues that resonate with conservative Christians. That's what makes him a unique figure among musicians and worship leaders on the religious right, he said. Perez pointed to Feucht's song, Imago Dei, which in Latin means, image of God, about the sanctity of life, released soon after the Supreme Court's 2022 decision ending a nationwide right to abortion. There aren't other figures like him in the worship space who are fully active in political engineering, he said. Despite his initial connection with Feucht's work, Booth said he became disheartened by what he saw within the organization. I've seen so many people get taken advantage of, go through burnout and how their health suffered because of how much they poured into these ministries, he said. They neglected their own finances and ended up decimated from how much they gave, thinking they were doing something good and beneficial.